Hello guys. In this video we will talk about the 2014 movie, It. A battered and agitated girl named Annie runs out of the house into the street, where she stops right on the road, carefully looking at the house. Neighbors and the girl's father try to find out what happened, but Annie claims that everything is fine with her. Soon she returns to the house to collect the car keys and leaves. Annie stops at night on the beach and talks to her father on the phone. She tells him that she loves him and her mother, as if saying goodbye to her parents. At night, the girl was brutally killed. Next, a girl named Jay enjoys swimming in the pool. She was watched by two neighbor boys who hid behind the bushes as soon as the girl noticed them. After that, she is going on a date to the cinema with a guy named Hugh. In line, the girl offers to play a game. The satellite must visually choose the person in whose place he would like to be, and Jay must guess who Hugh chose. The guy chose a boy with his parents, since in childhood it is not necessary to go to the toilet, because this can be done right on the spot. Next up is Jay. She informs Hugh that she has made her choice and now he must guess. The guy points to a girl in a yellow dress, but Jay can't see anyone with a similar description. Hugh suddenly gets worried and asks Jay to get back in the car with him. The couple spent the rest of the evening in a cafe. The next day, Jay shares his observations with his sister. She noticed that the guy was behaving unusually and thinks that he was uncomfortable. In the evening, the girl meets Hugh again. The couple makes love, after which the guy uses a cloth with chloroform to knock Jay unconscious. Soon she wakes up in an abandoned room tied to a chair. Standing behind Hugh asks her for forgiveness. The guy reassures the girl saying that he is not going to kill her. After Hugh begins to tell that when they made love, he gave the girl something. It can take the form of any familiar or unfamiliar person, only the owner of the curse can see it. Hugh is interrupted when he notices a naked girl approaching. Before leaving, he tells a frightened Jay that to survive, he needs to sleep with someone else. Meanwhile, Sister Jay is playing cards with friends. She notices Hugh's car. The guy stops to let Jay out and warns before leaving that you can't let the creature touch you. Next, the neighbors notice an ambulance with the police near Jay's family home, and in the meantime, the girl tells the employees about what happened at night. A few days later, Jay nervously examines herself until suddenly a ball hits the window. The girl does not find anyone. While listening to the teacher, Jay notices a woman in white clothes walking towards her class. A frightened girl collects her things and hurriedly leaves the classroom without asking permission from the teacher. Moving towards the exit, Jay turns back and sees the intimidating woman again. She ignored all the questions. Moreover, the rest of the students did not understand who Jay was talking to. In the end, she runs away and comes to her sister at work. There, the girl talks about the old woman and conveys the words to Hugh. Kelly is skeptical about everything, and in love with Jay. Paul tries to get more details from the girl. As a result, Paul offers to spend the night together. The guy is sitting on the couch. Jay can't sleep and goes downstairs to Paul. He offers to sit with him. They begin to remember funny stories from their childhood, until suddenly a loud sound is made. Jay asks Paul to check the source of the sound. The guy discovers a broken window in the kitchen, and then goes to wake Kelly so that she calls the police. During this, Jay goes into the kitchen where he discovers a half-naked creepy girl who was slowly walking straight at Jay. She runs away and locks herself in her room. Soon Paul and Kelly are asked to open the door. Jay opens it and starts crying. At some point, they try to open the door. It was Yara who also stayed overnight with Jay and Kelly. Suddenly, a tall man appears behind her, who entered the room immediately behind Yara. No one but Jay saw him. The girl gets out of the house through the window and leaves on a bicycle. She stops and sits on the swing. Soon her excited comrades find her. Jay asks Kelly not to tell her mom about this. Next, a neighbor and classmate of Jay, Greg, approaches the group, who is not the first to notice the strange behavior of the girl and decides to find out what is wrong with her. Paul answers for her and says that someone broke into her house. In the morning, the group drives up to Hugh's house. Inside, Jay notices a tricky arrangement of jars and bottles, so Hugh could have known the creature's approach ahead of time. Paul finds a photo of a guy and, thanks to the uniform, Jay understands which school Hugh went to. They decide to go there to find more information about the suddenly missing person. The teenagers manage to find out that the real name of the guy is Jeff. Then they go to his parents' home. There, Jay meets the guy's mother, who says that her son is now at home and invites the guys to come in. Soon they are talking to Jeff. He says that the best option for the girl is to sleep with someone else and then, perhaps, it will come off. But if the creature kills Jay, then it will start hunting Jeff again and so on until it gets to the person who is at the very beginning of the death chain. The guy asks for forgiveness from the girl and makes it clear that he had no choice. At some point, he notices a girl walking behind Jay. Jeff becomes worried until the rest of the group reports that they see her too. Greg decides to take Jay to the country house to buy time, as the creature walks rather slowly. In the car, Kelly asks Jay if she will pass the curse on, but the girl does not know. The group makes it to the house where Jay is laying a makeshift burglar alarm. In the morning, Greg goes to the shed to pick up the gun and teach Jay how to use it. Later, the teenagers rest on the shore. Kelly notices how a strand of hair on Jay's head has risen unnaturally. After a moment, she began to ask for help. Paul hits something with a chair and it pushes the boy aside, releasing Jay. Teenagers run to the barn where the girl takes the gun. After several unsuccessful attempts, she manages to hit the essence in the guise of a young girl. Suddenly the body stands up again and Jay closes the door. It transformed into a tall man to try and kick the locked door. The creature managed to break part of the door, but there was no one in the gap except Greg, angry because of the broken door. Soon he moves away. Jay tries to find out where he is, but suddenly the creature took the form of a boy to fit into a small hole. The girl escapes by unlocking the gate and gets to the car. The group asks her to stop, but a panicked Jay does not respond to anything. The girl notices a jeep leaving the road and rudely turns into a cornfield where she passes out. A lady wakes up in a hospital surrounded by sleeping friends and relatives. Jay starts to hear footsteps, which makes him very nervous. At night, when everyone is gone, Greg and Jay make love. After 3 days, Jay asks the guy about his affairs. He says that no one has appeared during this time. The guy thinks it won't show up. After some time, Greg visits a neighbor, but Kelly informs him that she has closed herself in the room and does not open to anyone. They ask him about the creature, but Greg didn't see anyone. In addition, he makes them understand that he does not believe in the existence of something. At night, a sleepy Jay notices a man walking in white clothes. He comes to Greg's house and breaks the window with a stone and then climbs inside. The girl starts calling the guy. When the answering machine turned on, Jay immediately leaves the house and runs to help. She climbs into the house and finds the teenager's mother on the second floor. The woman kept knocking on the door. The girl tried to shout to Greg, but he did not hear and opened the door. Immediately after, the creature attacked the young man. Jay looks into the room and sees the already dead Greg on which it was sitting. The frightened girl gets into the car and drives away, followed by a creature in the form of Greg. Jay mourns the guy's death and stops in the woods, where he goes to sleep on the hood. In the morning, she notices 3 guys on a boat. The girl takes off some of her clothes and enters the water, probably in order to sleep with one of them. She returns home immediately after. The next day, Paul knocks on Jay's locked room. They discuss why the girl chose Greg. Jay believed that nothing would happen to the guy, since he often acted bravely and could stand up for himself. Paul offers his services, but the girl refuses him. Then he asks to trust and go with him to the place where they first kissed in childhood. The group leaves and Jay notices a naked old man on the roof of his house. The teenagers get to the pool where Paul asks how long it takes for it to come. Jay suggests that a few hours will be enough. The group proceeds to prepare a deadly electrical trap for the entity. The girl enters the water and the teenagers froze in anticipation. It started to rain heavily outside. At some point, Jay announces in an alarming voice that the creature is inside. It just stands and looks at the girl without going into the water. Suddenly, the entity began to move. Jay starts to panic and at one point it threw the device into the water. Teenagers understand that Jay can fall into the trap herself. Paul grabs a gun and asks Jay to guide him. The guy shoots and accidentally hits Yara's leg. Kelly throws a rag over the creature and Paul gets hit in the head, causing it to fall into the water. Jay tried to get out of the water, but a tenacious creature grabs her and pulls her leg. The girl was pulled out after Paul made another well-aimed shot. The group managed to stop the creature, at least for the time being. Later, Jay agrees to pass the curse on to Paul, and in the afternoon, the guy stops by the harlots, probably thinking about transferring the curse. Next, the couple visit Yara in the hospital, who is on the mend. A few days later, Paul and Jay walk hand in hand, and that's where the movie ends. For today, all the guys. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a new video. Thank you for watching.